What does it take to lead quality engineering across teams, time zones, and 2 decades of industry change and still be ahead of the curve? Welcome to the Test Associates podcast, where we sit down with the brightest minds in software testing and engineering to bring you the conversations that are shaping the future of our industry. Today's guest is a senior test manager at British Business Bank, where she spent the last 6 years leading testing quality across key initiatives. With over 20 years in software testing experience and a career spanning multiple geographies, managing teams across different time zones, she knows exactly what it takes to deliver quality when the work is happening around the clock. So, welcome to the Test Associates podcast, Neha. How are you?
Well, good, Vaishnavi. Thank you for that good introduction. I felt like I went 20 years back in time to get introduced to all the what I've done till date. So thank you for that good introduction.
It,
Um,
it's
it's
really
nice,
lovely to
it's
have
bright
you
and
here.
shine today. So in London, hope the weather is same at your end.
Honestly, it started off being a bit sunny and now it's gone back to its usual UK weather, really misty and really cloudy. But you never know, the UK weather is so unpredictable. It just starts like becoming sunny out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But thank you again for taking the time out and being on our show. I know that you're also a speaker at the conference this year. So, really excited for you to share your knowledge and your experience with the attendees at the conference this year. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I feel great. And I mean, thank you for your team to give that opportunity. My
Yeah,
topic for the conference is more about inclusivity, about accessibility testing. What is accessibility testing? Why should you be doing and how you should do that? People
yeah,
giving just the knowledge, but if people do not have steps that they can, take in to deal with it, to how to do it, it's quite difficult. And it's quite simple to do. And in today's age where we are moving so fast, I think that is inclusivity that can cater for
100%.
all the needs of people is important.
100%, especially with, in the age of AI when so many things are changing so rapidly. Really keen to understand, like, I'm sort of diving into the first question already, but really curious to understand your perspective of why do we even need AI in testing right now?
That is a very good question. And in span of 20 years, when, I started as manual testing, looking at each user case and then writing about hundreds of test cases and then executing them, putting all that energy into doing that. So why is AI needed? Because our approach is completely quite different. We need faster deliveries. We need predictive deliveries with giving us that continuous quality. So because we are getting away from a legacy traditional methods of testing and the approach of where testing comes after development, now we need testing and development to go in parallel. And that's the reason we really need that AI into testing.
100%. When you say value, could you elaborate a little bit more on that? Is that like mostly speed, or how do you understand that in software testing? And what's the misconception that you mostly hear about when it comes to AI in testing?
Yeah. I think speed is one thing where people want to adapt to AI, but speed is not the only thing. Rather than speed is just part of it, but the bigger focus, bigger value of using AI is the focus. So AI helps you in is aim is going into testing into risky area. But probably you would have not thought when you're doing manual testing or through automation because failures are guaranteed and it is more expensive to deal with those failures when you are doing a manual based on automation based testing at the risk area. But with AI, it is predictable. It gives you risk ahead of time, saying potentially you're going to get this risk. So you are ready to handle those risks. And that's why I think that is the main key where you can have AI, you can reduce a repetitive work, you can catch issues earlier, and you can prioritize what matters most. Um, I think that answers a part of your question. And the second question you said is what about the misconceptions that I hear? And people think AI is equal to automation. So if I have AI, it's a magic button. I press on the button and everything is done for me.
Mm-hmm.
But people, I think AI is best treated when it is used as an assistant. When it assists you to do test prioritization, when it gives you the risk and then you decide what is my priority. Do I take a risk-based approach or do I get more confidence-based approach? And it gives you faster analysis. So it's not a replacement where people think, okay, I've got an AI in my tool, in my organization. That's it. I can sit back and relax. That's not the case. You still have to be on your toes. You still have to use that because it is an assistant that you're using.
100%. And from an AI perspective, have you noticed like a change in terms of strategy? Like how I'm trying to understand how testing has evolved from a strategic perspective.
Yeah, definitely. As I said before, where QA was part of SDLC, software development lifecycle. So dev is done, now you test. So QA was a phase in entire software delivery lifecycle. But now what's happening is we are thinking of quality as an engineering, as a system. So what happened before was when testing came after development, now the quality engineering is pushing quality where everybody is accountable, right from design to architect, to delivery managers. Everybody's accountable. Initially, it was only the testing team was accountable for everything for a successful delivery. That perspective has changed. That's why that perspective is important when you want to change from QA as a phase to quality engineering as a system. Um, so that it can give you, better requirements, better design, better automation in pipelines, and better monitoring actually in production. And then only you can learn from it because it's giving you insight, which probably you wouldn't have before.
100%. And how does AI exactly fit into this evolution?
I think basically what AI is doing is AI is just connecting the dots because it is learning from your defects, right? It's learning from your production incidents. It is giving you when there's a problem and you have come across a production defect, it is going back and telling you, hey, you need to change this test coverage. You probably have to expand, or you are not doing the right test coverage. It's actually learning from the patterns, and then your team's also adjusting to that real risk, and they are opening their minds to deal with this real risk. So there's a huge shift here, from static test plans to adaptive quality systems, and then it is moving from testing to quality engineering.
Got it. And do these changes like appear for teams culturally as well?
I think it definitely does because people are coming with open mind now. They want testers to be involved beforehand. So they're trying to involve testers right from design phases, from requirements gathering, sometimes even during vendor selection, because testers can ask the right questions.
Mhm.
So they start really early at the stage where there were barriers in thinking. So the culturally, globally, I think people have got more broadened visions over quality team. And as I said before, the accountability is increased. There's no blame game now. People are not saying, oh, it's his responsibility of testing team to do good quality delivery. It is saying, let's look at the design. Is the problem there? Let's look at a product. Have you selected the right tool? Is the operations team ready to accept? Is business ready to accept the new tool? So it's not only user acceptance, it is business acceptance with anything that is being delivered. And I think that culturally, I've seen a difference from the start of my 20 years at the start of the coverage till now. Globally and culturally, people have broadened their mind about quality testing.
Lovely. And you mentioned earlier in your previous answers that a lot of people think AI is automation and that a lot of things will be done quicker just by pressing a button. I want to understand from your experience that if, let's say, a team adopts AI, and they'll obviously think that, a lot of things will be done faster, where would they feel the most impact in terms of, something being really fast and quick?
So if a team kind of adopts to AI, the impact that people will feel is basically into turning those requirements into test ideas. Sometimes you come across a very difficult scenario and you don't know where to start with. So testing team would be confused. Okay, what's my coverage here? Am I doing the right coverage? So, and the answer cannot be given until there's peer review, but then they have to have an experts in the team to give that, but that niche scenarios to them before they can do the testing. So AI actually helps to create those requirements into test ideas as faster. It can also recommend you to run the test cases, which is based on code changes and historical failures. So it is learning from historical failures and is saying, hey, your system failed there. So you better have that coverage into, and this is the priority you must do. So there should be must do, should do, or low priority test
Yeah.
cases. That
Yeah.
idea AI can give you. Plus, it can summarize your failures
Yeah.
and it can cluster the defects. Plus, obviously, it can give you the probable cases and causes to it. I think that's why the AI acceleration is required.
So does that mean that there'll be like fewer hours spent in the weeds? Does mean that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, see, less time is required in scanning the logs. Less time is required in rerunning these cycles. And more time is, thinking about the risk and edge cases and customer impacts because AI is doing all that analysis for you. So the team
Yeah.
can concentrate onto more important, onto scrutinizing on further coverage.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay, so now, like looking forward into the future, what trends are you watching right now in AI testing tools?
So basically, the trends that I'm seeing is the wave of copilots. Everybody's wanting copilot. Either they want copilot, copilot premium, either they want GitHub copilot. And every day, it's within the organization, people are coming and asking, what is the policy of using ChatGPT? So I think
Yeah,
that's the
oh my
upcoming
gosh.
trend where you have to explain people their guardrails there. ChatGPT is not an authorized tool. So just, pause your brakes, apply your brakes there. Don't just
Yeah.
accelerate there.
Yeah.
uh, I think people want the trend is they want smarter regression selection. They want operational efficiency. They want their task where we're taking 3 days of regression to run. They want to done in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Plus, they want self-healing automation, So if the test script has failed in a regression, they
Yeah.
want AI to automatically heal that. And that mindset is changing. So definitely it is the trend. And in the market, if you go every day, there's new testing tool coming up.
Oh my
You
gosh.
just have
Yeah.
to be smarter to adapt to those tools and learn more every day.
100%. I mean, I think with every conversation that I have with any software tester, this one question is like it gets repeated because a lot of, clients and a lot of viewers have these questions where, okay, I am a software tester, but I'm scared of my job because of AI. What can I do? Like, what kind of skills can I develop in order to stay, up to date? Because the world is changing every single day with AI. You don't know what skills to develop, but
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot out there.
Yeah, I mean, with even a 3-year-old and 4-year-old now, they know what ChatGPT is and how do they use that.
Yeah,
I have a 12-year-old and she has year-end exams coming in, and before sitting down and remember my days, creating a timetable for myself, but
yeah,
she has just asked ChatGPT, can you create me a revision timetable? And that is, I think, the smartest way to utilize your time rather sitting for hours to do so. And I think
100%.
that is really smart way of doing, doing the hard work by a tool.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think definitely a human is, needed in the loop to make sure that everything is like running properly. But yeah, I think AI definitely helps a lot with the automations, or at least that's what I've heard quite a lot from my other interviewees. But yeah, thank you for that answer. My next question to you is, what are the biggest risks when teams use AI in testing?
Yeah. I mean, see, with every tool, every coin has two sides, right? So AI
Mhm.
definitely will have other sides of it. And I think the biggest issue is over trusting AI. AI can be confidently wrong. And you still need to have your foundations and basics. You still need to know 2 plus 2 is 4. You can't be
I think
avoiding
I was
that.
about to say that, Neha. I think I saw like this. I think there was this post on LinkedIn that I came across where ChatGPT said 2 plus 2 is 5.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it confidently said that answer. And yeah, I think the other end, like the person said that no, you're wrong, and then ChatGPT was like, oh, I'm sorry. So
But
yeah,
that's it.
confidently wrong.
I know it can be very, very confidently wrong. And then you have to just, and then if people do not know, like if there's a junior tester new in the professional joining the team, recently getting to know what testing is and completely relying on AI to teach them, you don't know what LLM has got that answer. So you still have to have the theoretical methods, you still have to have those learning pathways, still have to attempt those traditional books to refer to before you actually say, hey, I probably you're right, but sometimes you can be wrong.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I think assuming every output that is given by AI is correct without validation is, I think, the biggest risks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, putting your confidential data on AI where there's a data risk, then getting into sensitive test data using that or customer information. That is again the biggest risk in AI because you don't know it is where it's storing, where that can be used. If there's another user coming and saying, can have more info about this product, which is probably yet to launch, they can get it through AI.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of guardrails are still necessary, especially in regulated environments. And I think that's the biggest risk where you have to really watch and be careful and have a key eye to those details.
So what do like governance and guardrails actually look like in this space?
I think defining the guardrails is definitely you need human to approve to say yes to AI before it adapts to it. Controlling what data you can store, there's always a scrutiny whether you say yes or no, this data can go in or not. That kind of guardrails should be there. Every organization should have a policy of an authorized tools before they give the tool actually in the customers, in the employees' hands. And I think the trust rams, they need to build that trust rams saying that start with low risk use cases,
Mm-hmm.
prove its value first, and then kind of expand. Don't just get comprehensive bigger tools before you actually know the return of investment of those tools. That is, I think, those kind of guardrails. To start with simple use cases in an organization.
And what would be your top tips for AI automation don'ts?
Oh, DIY automation don't, and I always tell this to team is don't automate everything. Use your brain. You cannot automate everything. You cannot replace your test strategy with generated test scripts. You still need to know what are you going to test. You cannot ignore what business needs. You definitely need to think you always business is important. What does actually business need? How are they going to use what you're going to develop? That is more important. Don't ignore the maintainability, I would say, because AI is written automation, but still needs the structure. You still need to put it into a framework, into a mold. Um, and as AI can give you flaky test cases as well. So don't always consider them as good. You are the authority here. You can say, I don't need because these are very flaky and I'm not going to take your test cases. So I think those are the don'ts kind of things. And obviously, do not give sensitive data to the AI tool, maintain the privacy, compliance, those kind of guidance that is being provided. So follow those.
In your opinion, then, what would be some of them that would bite the teams most?
I think the one that what's the one thing that bites the team is they come in every day, I want to, they can do manual testing, which would be simple, like login page automation, login page, where there's only one character to be tested. Can I automate this? But really, the time that you spend to automate that is better you do manual testing. So you still have to use your brains on what is right, what is wrong, right? You can't be just automating everything just because you have a tool.
Mm-hmm. If somebody was listening to this podcast and they want to start this month, what do you think would be a few quick wins for them?
I think the best quick wins is, you get so many reports out of everything in the automation tools and from if you're using Jira, from manual testing. But then if you have to create one report to show your senior managers and SLT members, I think one is you can summarize the test results because that is a very manual, tedious task to do. That is a quick win with AI. because you can then, scrutinize this. You have the knowledge to do that. Prioritizing your regression runs. So sometimes you would run only critical, but sometimes you would run critical and high, and sometimes critical, high, and medium. So regression packs is quick wins. Suggesting test cases. See, you can put a limit. Give me only 10 test cases from requirements. Give me 50, give me 100, and then prioritizing that. That is a quick win. So start with simple steps and probably just improve documentation, which is tedious because you have to review that, you have to put your commenting. So you can ask Copilot, can you just make it more structured? Can you give more information? Can you summarize rather than giving long essay documentation? I think those are the quick wins. Definitely every team can adapt to those.
And how do you actually keep these quick wins and the path to these from going sideways?
I think I think humans are still accountable for decisions. So AI can accelerate your thinking, but it cannot outsource your judgment. You definitely have to have that mindset for judgment. Um, so I think you just have to be smart enough to adapt to AI, you know.
Yeah. 100%. Neha, you've done such an amazing job at answering all of these questions. I mean, I think we've covered enough ground but not given away too much because you've got like a speaking session. So I want like the audience to be a bit more curious as well about it. And I'm actually genuinely excited about your speaking session at the conference this year. It's something that, a topic that everybody has to be there and listen to. But if there's one thing that you want to leave our audience with regarding your speaking session, what would that be?
I think accessibility is as important as it tells you. Every human being should be able to access in this digital world every browser, every via their phones, via their iPads. And I think it is the need of the hour, right? So
100%.
you cannot have softwares or portals or systems that cannot cater for all of the audience. So be there at the conference and listen to what I have to say, and I'm happy to take away and guide you how that can be adapted with simple steps.
Yeah.
And I think, you don't know, but AI would again be a very good factor in running those accessibility and making it inclusive to all the audience. But it was great talking to you, Vaishnavi, and thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this.
I really enjoyed the
And
conversation as well. Thank you.
yeah, and hopefully we'll have more nice speakers, and I'm keen to attend the conference. So thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the agenda has been finalized now, and like we have like a really amazing offer running for members who've been certified by ISTQB. And I think ISTQB is known quite like really well in the testing community. So all ISTQB certified members will be getting like 20% off on the tickets. In fact, we've got UKITB actually running a workshop as well at the conference this year, which will be really exciting because they're planning to do like a bit of you know how people do like hack days. They are planning to get software testers together in a room and find bugs, and there'll be like a winning team as well. So it'll be a really exciting opportunity and a really good collaboration with them. But yeah, really looking forward to the conference.
I mean, it already sounds very exciting. Can't wait 2 months to go, but I'm
Yeah.
already excited to join that.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Neha. It was lovely talking to you today.
Thank you, Vaishnavi, for this opportunity, and see you soon then.